second advice would be leave boys alone. Yes, Oma, leave boys alone. Stop crushing unnecessarily. I told the boy that I liked him, and he said I had yam legs. Hi loves, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oma Ndamati. Today we're going to be doing something very different from what I've ever done in my entire life. I've always anticipated that I wanted to do something like that, but I'm going to be doing my makeup. I'm going to be sharing with you how I do my makeup, my day-to-day makeup. I'm a very minimal girl. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a very minimal girl. I don't like too much. And if I do too much, you know that that occasion is very important. But I like to go with simple stuff. And I'm going to share with you guys the most simple makeup that I actually go out with. I don't wear makeup under the sun or out. Like, people won't stress me. I rarely wear makeup. But when I plan to wear makeup, I wear makeup. And it's always, people always ask me, oh, your makeup looks natural, blah, blah, blah. I just know how to infuse everything in there and make it look natural to the best of my ability. While I am doing my makeup, I'm going to be reading out some questions. These are deep questions because I asked them to ask me questions that are not regarding very basic things, just very, things that can help you get to know me on a deeper level. So let's get this ball rolling. I'm so fidgety because this is the first of its kind and I've never done it before. And as much as I'm a good multitasker and other things, I don't know if I'll be able to multitask this one, but let's see how it goes. This is me pushing myself to the limits back. So let's get right into it. I'm going to read it to my PC. This is the mirror and there is you there. So the number one question here is, what's your earliest childhood memory and what makes it memorable for you? Hmm. What's my earliest childhood memory and what makes it memorable for me? To be very, very honest, I have a lot of childhood memories, but I think the one that stands out for me is when I remember my mom when she comes back, late at night, sometimes from work, or she had something to do and she's back home. She starts to make very funny noises, and then in the bid to scare us, we just start getting scared, and then she's like all up in our face and ha, I'm here, and then we start laughing because it's our mom. I remember how those times were so cool. I also remember how my dad, we would sit in the middle of the parlor, and we'll have our cousins over, friends over, cousins over. We're all young. My dad would try to teach us Ikore. Ask me if I know how to speak Ikore. Um, I'm not proud to say that I can't speak my language. I'm trying my best, and I've been trying my best for the past 20 something years. And my dad really tried his best to actually teach us. And it's been, remembering those times and how my dad would try to teach us Ikore, tell us stories about the Connie tortoise and then the Connie fox. It was always interesting for me at that time. My parents loved to play, so we used to have like this hand game. If you remember this hand game we used to play, my mama told me. Then so she taught us how to do all of that stuff. And when my mom teaches me, I go and teach my friends like, yo, this is a new hand game, oh, like bro, don't even play. So we used to do that. My mom, I and my sister, my mom would play, I and my brothers, all of us would just play, have fun. Those were my childhood memories. Why it's memorable is because it just got much more interesting when they actually play with us. We always anticipated it. And it's made me feel connected to my parents a lot. And I hope that I'm able to do that same extend that same hand of friendship to my children, play with them the way they played with me too. Right. The next question is, if you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? Those guys, what kind of question is this? Okay, if I could only eat one food for the rest of my life. Me, I don't select food though. I don't select food, please. But if I was going to choose, it's going to be jollof rice. I mean, I think it's only jollof rice that I know that I can eat and eat. I will get tired, but since it's for the rest of my life, I don't know. That's a very tough one. I can't even answer. I don't even know how to answer that question, man. I really don't know how to answer that question, but it's probably going to be rice. Rice is like the basic way, like, is the most random food that you can get to eat here in Nigeria. I don't even think we have a lot of food to eat except you're a rich kid. I mean, it's always rice, yam, potato, gari, and soup, other things, beans. I don't know. I don't think we have a lot here to eat except from the different varieties of soup that we have. Aside from that, I don't think it will be rice because I think another reason why I think it will be rice is because you can cook rice in different ways. I even heard from my friend who is Ghanaian that you can make rice pudding. Rice pudding is like pap and all that. I'm like, okay. So if it's possible, I'll use rice and I'll turn rice to something else. I might even use rice flour to bake cake. So yeah, it is going to be rice. You see the angle I came from? Yeah. Okay. My eyebrows are done. Let's get right into other things. You see, I didn't even spend time a lot on the eyebrow because who has time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that. So the next question is, what is the most adventurous thing you've ever done? What's the most adventurous thing I've ever done? Hmm. Uh, this is a very tough question because I'm naturally just an adventurous person. I can say I can be very spontaneous. Yes, there's a time I picked my bags to go and see man in Benin. It's not. I'm not proud to say it, because the boy broke up with me. I was serving then in Uyo. God in heaven knows that if I was in my father's house and I did that, my father would ask me where am I, and just tell me, you know what is good for you, just stay back there. If you come back, your everything is you're gone, you're done for. So I was serving at the time, and I missed my boyfriend at the time, and I wanted to go see him, and I went. I traveled to Benin. I've never been to Benin in my life. I think another reason why it was easy for me to actually travel to Benin is because my best friend was serving in Benin as well. So it was easy for me to just go because I knew that if anything pata pata happens, I had like a plan B. And it was actually very, very interesting. It's actually very interesting. I didn't get to explore Benin as much as I wanted to, but I shall know that if they are calling people that have traveled to Benin, I can say yes, I've traveled to Benin. Oh, another adventurous thing again, or would I say adventurous or ballsy, is actually even attending. Even after this person had broken up with me, the sister wanted me to be a part of her bridal train, and I traveled to Benin again. And to be honest, aside from the fact that I actually admire his sister and she's like really chill and everything, I just wanted to see that goat's face one more time. I just wanted to see his face one more time. I know it didn't end well. Anyway, I ended up crying my eyes out because I really genuinely love this person, and the person fell my hand like no other. And yeah, it sure happened that it took a few more weeks to actually get over everything because it seemed like he had another chick beside him. And then he was not forming all carry, that and that. And then I started asking myself questions like, waiting carry me? Like, waiting carry me come here? Why did I come for this wedding? Why did I agree to be a part of the wedding? And I even had to share my concerns with the sister that I just think that it's going to be awkward. I don't know if it's going to make any sense, coming. And she was like, no, don't worry, it's not good. I'll make sure it's not awkward. But she couldn't control the awkwardness, and she didn't even know that I cried that much. And I thank God nobody found out. If anybody like found out how much I cried, I'll be so embarrassed. So yeah, that was it. And that one happened. There are more adventurous things, but for me, I think that was a very ballsy thing to do, traveling to Benin to see man. Mm, yeah. So okay. So if you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? Yes, it would be Nelson Mandela, and I'm particularly drawn to how patriotic he was as a person. So yeah, I think that's just it. But it's going to be Nelson Mandela, and because he's an iconic person, because of his outstanding, patriotism. to his country and his, like loyalty to his country, and what he literally had to go through because of them. The number five question would be is what is your favorite book and movie of all time and why does it resonate with you? Okay, I'm going to start with book. My favorite book of all time would be Purple Hibiscus. Everybody, I am a huge fan of Chimamanda Adichie. I've read literally all the books that Chimamanda Adichie has written, and I'm just always excited to know that okay, she's speaking on something on human rights or on feminism because she always has something wise to say. You know, yeah, basically, her book, that particular book, I read it as a teenager, and it resonated with me a lot because my dad is not a tyrant for a father, neither is my mom a timid person, but that book was was very relatable in a lot of areas as of being an African child, falling in love, everything in between. So in a way, I feel like it kind of resonated with me, and I really, really love the story. I feel like if I'm going to make a very great film or any film whatsoever, it is going to be a web series on Purple Hibiscus, basically. And yeah, I think that's just my favorite book. And another favorite book that I feel like I really love is Lord of the Flies. Guys, Lord of the Flies was one book that they told us to read while in uni, in secondary school, as a literature student. And I think for me, I was the most astounding literature student in my class because I will read all the books and ask me to tell you about it, and I will give you all the gist. To me, Lord of the Flies was a very interesting book, and if I remember how that book went, it kind of like reminds us of how the world and society is and how we've gotten to this point, to the point that we are in. But I advise you to go read it. It's actually a very, very good book. It's just about a bunch of boys that got lost, that got lost in an island, and they dare to find a leader or have a leader for their, for their team or for their group because of they're all lost young boys. So yeah, and that's the second book that I know that I really love and enjoyed reading. So the movie that I believe I really like, my best or favorite movie of all time would be Pretty Woman. Julia Roberts was in that film. It's a classic. Um, I'm a lover girl, so I'll always go for love or romantic books, romantic movies. But I'm also a horror girl too. There's the dark side of me, just so you know. But if I'm going to call two favorite movies, I have a lot to be honest because I'm a movie person. It would be Pretty Woman and Insidious. Insidious is kind of like my favorite. I don't know if it's Insidious. It's between Insidious and The Nun. My favorite horror films. It will be between that, so I'm not sure. But yeah, that's just practically it. Sixth question will be describe a perfect day from start to finish. A perfect day for me will be to sleep the previous day by early, that's 10 p.m., and wake up early as well. Um, After that, I would, wake up by 8 a.m. and then read my Bible, do my devotion from 30 minutes to 1 hour. And then I'm going to shower, you know, like thoroughly have my bath, just spend like a few minutes in there, at least 30 minutes in the shower, scrubbing, sponging, singing, dancing, and then I start my day working. Then I go to the gym. Yeah, basically. When I'm done with the gym, I go grab a a cup of fruit juice somewhere, my favorite fruit juice person. And this is me being very imaginative. It can happen. It has. Well, then after that, I come back home and I do some work. And what else again? After doing the work, what else do I have to do again? Um, After doing some work, I can hang out with my friends. And what else? What else? What else? After hanging out with my friends, I would read a book or watch a movie. Stay home, watch a movie. And if I have to hang out with my friends, it's probably going to be salsa because it's on a Thursday. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot going on in my life. If I think about it, from start to finish, a perfect day in my life from start to finish. I don't know. I probably have to think about it very deeply, but it's just going to be that. It will just entail me doing the things I enjoy doing, which is reading, working out, eating, watching my favorite show or TV or movie. Um, Besides that, nothing else. So I'm not sure say anything day like that. We day for my day. I don't think there's anything in my day that is that interesting. But maybe one of these days I'll do a lifestyle vlog of my day, of a day in my life, like Temi or Tedola. The next question is number 7. What is skill you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet? The skill I've always wanted to learn is to learn how to play musical instruments. Possibly know how to play like a couple of them, like piano, a violin, and the guitar. But currently, I'm trying to see how I can learn how to play guitar. Yeah, I'm trying to see how I can learn how to play guitar. But aside that, whatever skill again I need to have is going to be pertaining to musical skills. Nothing more, nothing less. I've always wanted to do music, and it would be a perfect opportunity to learn one of those skills. Next question is number 8. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be? Um, this question is tough because there are a lot of places I would like to go to. A lot of places I would love to go to. Okay, it is stand between Paris and Greece, but I'm particularly drawn to Paris. I always wanted to travel to Paris, so it would be amazing for me to actually go to Paris. To be very, very honest, I would, I would love to live in Paris for a year. Experience France. Yeah, that's just it. Nothing to it. And what does it say? Where would it be and why? I've always wanted to travel to Paris. Everybody knows. Even when I wanted to apply for university, and my dad was like, if you wanted to travel to any country, where would it be to? Where would you like to go to? And I told him to be France, Paris, and all. And he didn't have a problem with it because I think he had family there. So he was like, okay, but it didn't happen. So here I am, sad. It's good in Nigeria, so I mean. So yeah, to be either be Greece or Paris. So yeah, Paris is my go-to. Number 9, what's one piece of advice you wish you could give to your younger self? It would be three advices. One advice would be to follow your heart. I always want to be in the creative space. I've always wanted to do things that are creative, study music, theater arts, all of that stuff. But my parents didn't let me because they had a preconceived notion that, typical Nigerian parents have to study something professional. And I ended up studying public administration. Not that I have a problem with it, it's just that I didn't enjoy the course as much as I wanted to. And I got stuck in between, oh, do I want to continue schooling here, studying public administration? And I was just very, very sad that I wish I chased something that I was more passionate about. And yeah, I think pretty much that's it. Second advice would be leave boys alone. Yes, Oma, leave boys alone. Stop crushing unnecessarily. I know it's the hormones. You can't handle, you can't control it because nobody taught you how to. Nobody taught you anything about boys. But leave boys alone. Just stop crushing your life away on somebody that will probably never ever love you. Someone that will probably humiliate you and make you feel like shit. So yeah, leave boys alone. And finally, love every perk of yourself, no matter what anybody says. If they say you're ugly, stand in front of the mirror and say you're beautiful. So loving yourself is hard. Even as I'm older right now, I'm still struggling with it. But there is progress. But love yourself because there is no one else that will love you better than you love you. So you love yourself, baby girl. So those are the advices I'm going to give to my younger self. The 10th question. Oh, we've already got into the 10th question. Maybe I might prolong this a little bit, a little. And I'm almost done with my makeup. Should I tell you how sharp, sharp, sharp we used to do this thing? We used to run this thing fast. So number 10 is share a funny or embarrassing moment from your past that still makes you laugh till today. It doesn't just make me laugh. I cringe. I cringe when I think about it. I cringe. Yeah, a lot of embarrassing things that I've done. Okay, so I told the boy that I liked him, and he said I had yam legs. He insulted me in front of his friends and said I had yam legs, and it hurt my feelings a lot. I remember, crying and feeling like, wow, so that's all this guy sees. That I'm not already at that time. I was too much of a tomboy, and I didn't have a lot of. I had girly features, but I would wear big clothes. I would choose comfort over looking pretty. So I didn't try to do so much to look a certain way like every other girl did. And maybe it was not that time for me yet to be that kind of person yet. I was just not into the whole thing like that. But because of this boy and because of what he said, I took it upon myself to start acting more girly, and so that I can prove to him that I can be pretty. I remember even wearing pancake to school just so that I can impress this boy. And yeah, so it takes us back to the advice I give to my younger self: leave boys alone. They were embarrassing. So yeah, basically, I kind of like got embarrassed by somebody because I told him I liked him. It was one of the worst times of my life, and I think that it scared me to the point that even if I really like somebody, no matter how much I like you, I don't know if I can be able. I don't think I'll be able to bring myself to actually tell you that I like you, because I don't know how you're going to treat me afterwards, and I don't know if you won't like me as much as I like you. So I might as well just keep it to myself. People even say it a lot that, oh, it's not always the man that has to approach a woman. I'm sorry, maybe because I'm scared, but I would rather not say anything to you. I'm even currently crushing on somebody so bad, but I'd rather not tell you anything. I don't want to say it, so I will not overthink it, especially if the feeling is not reciprocated. I would feel like shit a lot. I feel like shit a lot, so I'd rather not do it. So yeah, it's not funny because it doesn't make me laugh. But if I'm going to think about something that makes me laugh, was when we were peeping on somebody in secondary school and I fell down. Everybody was laughing. So it was embarrassing, but it was really funny because of the nature at which I fell. So there was like a seaway dispenser right beside the. So we didn't want anyone to hear us. And me, I don't know how to be discreet about things. I was so young then. I was like just following them. I didn't even know what we were checking. I sure know that we were peeping at someone, and they were peeping and going at me. It was my time to peep. I fell down to my face. Ah, it was so embarrassing, man. It was so embarrassing. Yeah, that's basically it. So I have a few bonus questions that I'm going to be answering as well. The next question will be: what's a hidden talent or hobby of yours that people don't know about? I don't think I have a hidden talent that people don't know about. I feel like whatever talent I have, everybody already knows the kind of talent I have already. I love to sing, so everybody knows that I like to sing. Except for those people who don't know me personally like that. So I sing, actually. And if you give me the microphone and I'm not as shy, I am a great entertainer. I can dance, I can sing, I can do all of that stuff. So don't play. So the next question is: describe a defining moment in your life that shaped who you are today. I think that defining moment was when I was in my time of lack, when I didn't have as much, when I was jobless, broke, always emotional. I was hiding from my friends, like I was disappointed in myself that at this age I was not making ends meet. I was I didn't have money. I didn't even have the balls to actually go out and like do what and just be young and just enjoy life. I was struggling to get a job, so was I trying to get my mental health in check, and it was a lot for me. It was a very defining moment for me, and I learned a lot about myself during that time. It changed my life in the sense that it shaped who I am today, because if I did not experience all of those things, I don't think I don't think I'll be as grounded as I am today. So even during the time I was 7, I went through a time of lack as well. And as much as I tried to manage my money, my parents, in a way, they seemed to be laid back about sending me money, and I was a bit frustrated. So it was just me, myself, and I trying to figure out things during NYC, and it made me feel very, very sad and neglected. And I kept trying to learn skills, trying to push myself. I know, like, just be the best version of myself until I got to the point where I could master a skill and use that skill to get money. So yeah, those were very, very defining times of my life. They shaped me. It made me a better person in the sense that um, even in my time of lack, I will not budge, no matter how the world is spiraling out of control. So the video stopped me halfway when I was almost done with my lips, and I'm done with my lips now. And this is just setting pressure, just to set the makeup. So we're done here, and this is my normal minimal facial look. And the last question I'm going to be answering is, describe a time you stepped out of your comfort zone and how it changed it for the better. It will be when I relocated from Port Harcourt to Lagos, and it was a very defining time for me because it's not like I even had a lot. Um, there was a lot of struggling with accommodation, this one and that one, but we're still roughing it, aren't we? So I stepped out of my comfort zone from staying in my parents' house, from being taken care of, having abundance of food, shelter, everything, to coming to a place where I wanted to chase my passion and my dreams. And here I am, literally trying to rough it. And yeah, I think that is everything there is to say from the questions I'm answering here today. Thank you so much for being here with me. It was such a pleasure doing this. No, I haven't even laid my edges. What have you done if you haven't laid your edges? It's not something too hard, sha. It's just something I like to do real quick. Those were the like defining times for me because I think I learned to be more independent, living by myself, trying to figure out things with myself. And even if my dad especially was not like in full support of it, um, I still had to be stubborn and had to go for what I wanted. And here I am, literally trying to figure it out. And I think I'm doing it the best way I know how to. And by the grace of God, I've been doing it pretty okay. And I'm really grateful to God for that. This is the look. I am finally done. I'm so excited I was able to do this in less than how many minutes. Only God knows how long this took. I don't think it took that much time, about 10 to 15 to 20 minutes basically. Yeah, and it was so much fun having this conversation with you and answering this question. And if there's any basic question, I'm going to answer it to be that okay, I'm a PH babe. Um, I'm from Ikore, and I'm in my 20s. I'm trying to figure life out. Life is life in, but God has been good. Yeah. So okay, so thank you so much for watching. We might have a part 2 for the get to know me sesh, and then you might get to know other personal things about me later in the part 2, whenever that's going to be. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day. And once again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It will mean so much to me. If you even try to comment, it will mean so much to me. You can ask me any questions pertaining to my relocation, my skills, and all of that. I am willing to share more stories about that if you're interested to know about them. Thank you once again and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.